Hi everyone, welcome to yoga today. Let's start with our breathing and sitting on the mat. Soles of your feet together. And let's just bring the shoulders up towards your ears and then round them back. And then just go around a few times, going backward with the shoulders, all the way back and down and up. Yeah, oh, that feels kind of good for me. And then we're going to come forward. Yeah. And then take your hands and bring them to wherever is most comfortable. You might want to take the thumb and touch it with one of the tips of your fingers and feel that connection between the mind, the body, and the soul. And let's start with the breath. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Making each breath just a little bit longer than the last until your full breath is 2 to 3 times longer than your normal breath. Filling up the tummy, the lower lungs, the upper lungs, all the way up to the shoulders. Rolling the shoulders back and then exhaling in reverse until your belly button comes closer to your spine. And then starting all over again. Each breath in the present. Which brings me to our theme today. Our theme is to live life in the present. Not thinking about what you're going to do next, where you're going to go, but just right here with your body right now, doing yoga. And just notice the sensations. Notice your body. And then bringing the lips together, and let's start breathing in and out through your nose. Creating what is called Ujjayi Pranayama, your yoga breath. Letting that air circulate at the back of your throat. Creating that sound that sounds like ocean waves coming in to shore. Or maybe it sounds like the wind blowing through the trees. It's really a beautiful sound. And our highlight today will be to work on the knees. And we'll be doing a yoga squat later to work on strengthening your knees. So maybe just taking your hands and doing a nice rub on top of your knees. Very good. Nice job. And then bring the arms up overhead, gaze up, reach and stretch. Let's arch the back a little bit as you gaze up toward the ceiling. Good. And as you exhale, bring your arms out to the sides, up towards your toes, and then back up toward the ceiling. And exhale. And again. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Very good. Now let's bring the hands to heart center. Take a deep breath. Let's cross your legs and come in to a kneeling pose. Hands and knees for tabletop. Wrists are underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath your hip bones. As you inhale, bring the head and the hips up. Exhale for cat. Rounding the back, gazing behind you. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. And just do a few of those. Warm up your body. Loosen up the spine. And getting ready for some other poses that we're going to be doing. And then coming back into tabletop pose, let's move the hips from side to side. Yeah. And then bring your toes together, knees a little farther apart, coming into child's pose. Bring the forehead down, stretch out your hands in front of you. As you inhale, come back into tabletop pose, and let's come into a kneeling position, bringing the palms to heart center. Inhale, bring that right foot forward. Beautiful. Let's take that nice inhale, and the arms come up overhead, gaze up. Beautiful. Hold here, reach and stretch. As you exhale, that right hand comes down and out behind you. Let's gaze past those right fingers as you twist from the waist and turn the toes under on your left foot so your heel comes up. Beautiful. As you inhale, that left hand comes up, right hand comes behind your back and push the back or the lower back forward. Gaze up. Nice. Breathe. As you inhale, the right hand meets the left. Exhale, bring your hands around that right foot. Come on to the ball of the left foot. And inhale, the right arm comes up. Yeah, for dragonfly. Gaze up toward the right fingers. Exhale, that right hand comes down, and then slowly put your hands on your right thigh, and we're going to come up to crescent pose. Right knee stays bent, you're on the ball of the left foot, pushing that left heel back. Hands come up overhead. You can gaze forward or up toward your fingertips. Whatever is best for your balance. Pressing that right foot down. Yeah. Right knee is above your right heel. I know you're not looking there, but you can kind of tell. Yeah. And then as you exhale, right hand comes down and out behind you. Good. Gazing past the right fingers. So very similar to what we did on our knees. And now we're doing it standing up. Inhale, the left hand up, right hand behind the hips. Pushing them forward, gaze up toward the left fingers for exalted. Beautiful. Breathe. As you inhale, the right hand meets the left. Exhale, bring the palms together at heart center. Inhale, left foot meets the right. And just shake the legs out a little bit. Beautiful. Press the feet down, toes together, heels slightly apart. And then bend the knees, coming into chair pose. Knees or hips come down, bend the knees, bring the hands out in front of your eyes. Yeah, gazing past those fingertips. Let's curl that tailbone under. Beautiful. And breathe. Exhale, bring the hands down and out behind you. Gaze past your knees, hands come up overhead. Legs are straight here. And then inhale, come back to chair. Hold. Breathe. And one more breath. Good. Exhale, hands come down and out behind you. Inhale, come back to chair. Exhale, down with the whoosh. Inhale, come back up to chair. Good. Exhale, coming to Samastitihi. Straightening out the legs, maybe give a little wiggle if you need to. Palms together at heart center, pressing the feet down. Breathing. Engaging your bandhas, Uddiyana Bandha, your abdominal muscles, and Mula Bandha, pelvic and bladder muscles. Your gaze, or your drishti, as it's called in yoga, is kind of like looking through things rather than at them. The focus is inside, on your body, on your breathing, on your soul. And we're going to do some balancing poses here. So let's press the left foot down. I'm going to gaze toward a non-moving space or object. So I have a door here and a little spot that I can pick, and I'm going to just gaze there. And then inhale, the right knee comes up. Good. Exhale, left hand to the outside of the right thigh and the right hand out behind you for dancing Shiva. Gazing past the right fingers. It's okay if you're shaking. Remember, if you need to, you can have a wall next to you, or you can have a chair, preferably a nice light chair that you can move from side to side and hold on to the chair. And then inhale, come back to center, coming to Samastitihi. So then you're going to take your strap, and if you don't have a yoga strap, it's okay. You can use a belt or a scarf, a nice long scarf, or something like that, maybe a rope, okay? And again, we're going to put that around our right foot, and then left hand comes to the left hip. Inhale, that left leg comes up. Push, or the right leg comes up, and push the right heel out. Good. Try to keep the shoulders on your back. Yeah. So just roll them back. Gazing forward on that spot. And as you exhale, bring that left foot down. You can take the strap off. Maybe you do a little wiggle between the legs, hands on your hips, And then we're going to go into airplane pose. So left foot is still nice and firm. And you bring the right leg up. Push that right heel back. Arms come out to a T, gazing down toward your mat. Yeah. And, if you lose your balance, you go back up. Get it again. Okay? Be patient with yourself. You can do it. Nice. Ooh. And as you exhale, bring that left foot down, coming to Samastitihi. Take a deep breath. Inhale, exhale. And then let's turn toward the long end of the mat. Bring your feet out nice and wide. Bring the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, we're going to go around the world. So we're going to start up on top. Go to the right. Make sure you bend and knees and pivot your feet as needed, and then go all the way around. This is a nice stretch. It's a great thing to do early in the morning just to get you awake and warmed up for your day and feeling great. And then once you have at least 3 of those in, we'll come into star pose. Toes are pointed outward. Take a deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. Let's bring the palms together at heart center and let's walk the feet in just a little bit so they're just a little wider than your hips. Again, toes are pointed outward. And we're going to do a yoga squat. So, I'm very compassionate to people who need to use their blocks and their straps, because with that, you can do yoga no matter what. So, we're going to bring the hips down. And also, I'm going to do a chair yoga this week. And maybe you take that block and just put it under your hips for yoga squat. So elbows are inside the knees, toes pointed outward. Yeah. Now this is a great pose for the knees, especially if you don't use the block. So if you want to just try it without the block, just go like that. And you'll get a little more going. Maybe you turn it sideways instead of the tall way, okay? And you'll feel a little bit more on the knees, the hips. Good. And breathe. Another full breath. Inhale and exhale. As you inhale, gaze up. Exhale, bring the hands down. Inhale, bring the hips up. Push the hips up and back. Bring the feet nice and wide for a wide leg forward fold. Gaze behind you. Push those hips up again. Engage your bandhas. Press the feet down. Let your head hang. Neck and jaw are nice and soft. Beautiful. And breathe. As you inhale, let's walk your hands to the back of the mat. Bring your feet together. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up to standing. Arms overhead, gaze up. As you exhale, coming to Samastitihi. So we've worked the left side, and now we're going to go into, or the right side, and now we're going to go into the left side. Inhale, the arms come up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back. It's a nice plank pose here. Hands are flat, fingers crazy wide. Our body is in a nice straight line, just like a plank of wood that you would walk up. Bandhas are engaged, so our hips are even with the rest of our body, not up here, okay? Very good. And breathe. If that's hard for you to hold, you can always bring the knees down and do it from there. As you exhale, bring those knees down and then point your toes. Come all the way down to the bottom of a push-up. Inhale, you can come into Sphinx with your elbows underneath your shoulders and your hands out in front of you. And gaze forward. Nice lower back bend. Or you can come into up dog with the wrists underneath your shoulders. Gazing forward. Yeah. Beautiful. As you inhale, let's come up and bring your hips back towards your heels. Stretch your hands out, coming into a child's pose. Forehead touches the mat. Knees are out, nice and wide, and the toes are together. Beautiful. Inhale, come all the way up to a kneeling position. Bring your arms up overhead, gaze up. As you exhale, bring the palms together at heart center. Inhale, bring the left foot forward, gazing forward. Bring the arms up overhead, gaze up. Yeah, for a kneeling crescent. As you exhale, the left hand comes down and out behind you, and the right hand goes forward. Come onto the ball of your right toes. Gaze past your left fingers. Good. Let's exercise our eyes. Inhale, the right arm comes up. Left hand comes behind your hips, pushing them gently forward for a kneeling pose here. Gaze up toward those fingers. Exalted is the name of the pose, but it's kneeling. And then inhale, the left hand meets the right. Exhale, both hands come around that left foot. Come onto the ball of the right foot. Push that heel back for a runner's lunge. Press your right hand down. If you need to, you can always take a block and put it underneath the right hand to get a little bit easier of a twist. And inhale the left arm up, gaze up. Yeah, soften through the wrist here. Maybe you turn your wrist in one direction and then the other. Good. Opening that chest toward the left. As you exhale, that left hand comes down. Get nice and stable on your feet. And then slowly bring your hands to the left thigh. Inhale, the arms come up overhead. Gaze up. Beautiful. Pushing that right heel back. You can either gaze up or you can be gazing forward. Yeah, some people lose their balance when they go with your head up. As you exhale, bring that left hand down and out behind you, right hand forward. Just like we did in a kneeling position. Gaze past the left fingers. Inhale the right hand up, left hand behind the hip. Gazing up or forward. Nice. And breathe. And then inhale, the left hand meets the right. Exhale, bring the palms together at heart center and slowly bring that right foot forward to meet the left. Give a little wiggle here. Yeah. And, sometimes, we injure a part of our body. I've injured my back recently, and so some of the poses I'm probably not in the exact position, but I am working toward a full recovery. And that's how it works. You have to keep trying. You have to keep moving. And I guess that's my real theme. Living in the present, living life in the present, and working toward a full recovery and healing every single minute of every single day. Gazing forward. Samastitihi. Take a deep breath. And then as you inhale, we're going to press that right foot down. And let's bring the left knee up for our balancing poses. Take the right hand to the outside of the left thigh and the left hand out behind you. Gazing past those left fingers if you can. Inhale, come back to center. Palms come together, left foot comes down. We're going to wiggle those legs. Very good. Let's take the strap and bring it around the left foot. Hold on with the left hand. Right hand comes to your hip. And then slowly bring that left leg up. Push the heel forward. Yeah. Nice. As you exhale, bring that left foot down. Take the strap off. Wiggle the legs. Both hands on your hips. Let's make a nice flat right foot. Okay, we get ready to come into airplane pose. The left leg comes up. Arms come out to a T. Gazing down. As you exhale, the left foot comes down, coming to Samastitihi. So the balancing poses have been a little bit more of a challenge also as I'm healing, but I just think as long as I do it for as long as I can, then I will get better. And then let's bring that right foot out nice and wide. Arms come out for star pose. Inhale, bring both hands up overhead, and let's go around the world. This time we're going to go to the left, over to the right, all the way up, to the left, and down, and all the way around. Yeah. Just enjoy that nice stretch. Make sure you are bending your knees or pivoting your feet, whatever needs to be done. Make sure you've gone at least 3 times around, coming back to star pose. Good. Now let's walk those feet in just a little bit wider than your hips, keeping the toes pointed outward. We're going to take that block and put it behind our hip. You probably know from before, the last time you did this, where you want the block for your yoga squat. Okay? And then as you exhale, bring the hips down. Good. And elbows inside your knees, palms together. Yeah. Breathe. Now, if you can bring your legs farther apart, that is much better. Yeah, I'm trying to do that. Yeah. Sometimes you just have to relearn how to do things that you knew how to do before. Beautiful. As you exhale, bring the hands down. Inhale, the hips come up, gaze behind you. Slowly bring the feet nice and wide, toes still pointed outward. Grab the big toes with your peace fingers, gaze behind you. Straighten the legs, push the feet down. Engage your bandhas. Push the hips up. Soften through the neck, the jaw, the shoulders. Breathe. Feel that stretch on the inner thighs. Nice job. As you exhale, let's bring the hands down and slowly walk your hands toward the front of the mat. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up to standing, arms overhead. Exhale to Samastitihi. Take a deep breath. Inhale, the arms come up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back. Coming into your plank pose. And then slowly bring the knees down, point the toes, come all the way down to the bottom of your push-up. Inhale to up dog. Yeah. Or Sphinx pose. You can use either one here. Let that lower back reset. And then as you exhale, we're going to come into a child's pose as we bring the knees a little farther apart. Toes come together. Your forehead comes down to the mat and stretch your palms out in front of you. As you inhale, come all the way up to a tabletop pose, and then we're going to come right into a seated position. Bring the legs out in front of you. Beautiful. Yeah, push the heels forward. Bring your hands to your sides. Roll the shoulders back. Gazing forward, engage your bandhas. Lengthen your spine. Good. Inhale, the arms come up overhead. Bring the legs nice and wide apart. And exhale, reach for those right toes. If you cannot reach the toes, you can bring a strap around them or around your foot and gaze past your toes, keeping the spine nice and straight. Another thing you can do here is bring the block underneath your foot, press onto the block, and then do that nice fold forward. Yeah, either way. Inhale, come all the way back up. And then as you exhale or inhale again, bring the arms up overhead, gazing past those left toes and fold forward. Reaching for the left toes. Maybe you use the strap, maybe use a combination of the strap and the block, which is kind of nice now that I do it because I'm noticing that I'm really pushing my foot against that block. And it feels like a nice strong stretch through the hamstrings. So this is really good. All that fascia underneath your entire leg. Yeah. And then inhale, come back up to seated, and let's bring your feet together. Come all the way down to your back. Keep the knees bent here. And let's give yourself a hug. Bring the knees up into the chest. Forehead comes towards your knees, and just, you're in a little roly-poly ball. So I'm going to call this roly-poly. You can roll from side to side if that feels good. If not, then don't. Yeah. And then as you exhale, release and lower. Inhale, bring the hips up. Hands come underneath the hips and clasp them for bridge pose. Pressing your elbows and triceps down into the mat. Open the chest, gaze up. So here, if you'd like to get a little more engagement of the thighs, you can put a block in between your knees and press into that block. Yeah, more engagement of the thighs and your glutes. Good job. Breathe. As you exhale, release the hands. Bring the hips down, and then bring the feet straight up toward the ceiling. So this is candlestick. If you want, you can go into shoulder stand, which would involve kind of a rocking, bringing your hips up off the ground, and then hands come behind the hips or lower back here, and then straighten out the legs. Good. So whichever one you're in, we'll just do a few more breaths there. Breathing. And then if you're in candlestick pose, you can come into happy baby. So your knees bend, you bring your arms inside your knees, and your hands go to the outside of your feet. Bring the feet up and wide. Push the feet out and your hands in. You can rock here if you want or not. It's a great, great happy pose. If you are in shoulder stand, you can go into plow pose, where your toes and legs will come over your head and toward the mat behind you. Breathe. And then bending your knees, you'll bring the knees to either side of your head for ear pressure pose, Karna Padasana. As you exhale, everybody coming down, stretching out your legs, pointing your toes. Bring your fingertips to the edges of your hips. Press your elbows down and bring your head up as if you were watching TV from the floor. As you exhale, take the top of your head and bring it to the mat. So you're gazing behind you. Your chin is going up toward the ceiling. Yeah. Beautiful. So you can stay here. This is where resetting the lower back. Or you can bring the legs up to a 45-degree angle and the arms out to a 45-degree angle for Uttana Padasana. Yeah. Back should feel good. Yeah. As you exhale, let's bring everything down. Knees are still bent. Arms come out to a T. Bring the hips over to the left about 4 inches. Knees come up to your chest and over to the right. Gaze past your left fingers. And breathe. As you inhale, bring the knees back up. And the hips come over to the right about 8 inches. Knees come up over to your chest and over to the left. Gaze past your right fingers. This is another place where you can put the block in between your knees too. As you inhale, come back to center. Straighten out your spine and stretch your legs out. Hands are at your side, palms facing up for Shavasana. Relax here. So you can stay where you are in Shavasana and just turn this off, or maybe turn the sound down, whatever works for you. Or you can finish off with me. So let's bring the knees up, if you're with me, and come over to your favorite side, renewing your mind, your body, and your spirit. And as you inhale, slowly bring yourself up, crossing your legs in front of you. And let's bring the hands up overhead to seal in your practice. Palms will come together at heart center. May the God-given light and love in me reach out to that same light and love in you. Namaste. Until I see you again, enjoy every moment that you have.